Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about the latest upcoming episode of Unfortunate Love was how Neelam refused to eat or drink until Rishi returned to the house, and Malishka begins to perform the puja at the Oberoi house as the Oberoi house daughter-in-law. Then Lakshmi and Rishi are happy in their uncompleted building. So let's continue from there. At the dining table in the Oberoi house, Neelam tells the family members that she will not eat or drink anything until Rishi comes home. The Oberoi family is shocked to hear this. The family members try to talk to her, but Neelam announces to her family that she is not going to change her decision, and all she wants is for Rishi to come back. At the uncompleted building, Rishi happily enjoys the food brought by Shalu and Bani, and he asks Shalu and Bani and Lakshmi to eat the food too, and says it is too good. Shalu and Bani says they brought clothes for them. Rishi asks Lakshmi to eat from his hand, and Lakshmi eats from Rishi's hand, and Lakshmi also feed Rishi, and they happily feed each other. Rishi mistakenly bites Lakshmi's finger while she was feeding him, and he quickly says sorry and he cares for her by blowing on her finger. Shalu and Bani feels happy seeing the love and care between Rishi and Lakshmi, and they smiles looking at them. At the Oberoi house, Neelam leaves from the dining table. Virendra says Neelam has started a new drama. Karishma says it is the worry of a mother for her son and not a drama. Grandma asks Malishka to make Neelam eat food if she can, and Malishka agrees and she takes the food to Neelam's room. Karishma asks Virendra to end the matter by bringing Rishi back home and let peace reign. She says we know that Neelam will not stop her hunger strike until Rishi come back, so forget about Lakshmi and think about your family. Karishma says Rishi has to return for Neelam's sake, and Karishma leaves from there. Virendra says if Neelam continues to behave like this and emotionally blackmail everyone, then she will lose Rishi forever. Shalu and Bani tells Lakshmi that Neelam brought Malishka home as her daughter-in-law, and Lakshmi is shocked. Shalu says to Lakshmi that the one who is the wall between Rishi and her is Neelam and not Malishka. Bani tells Lakshmi that Neelam really ate her and she is strongly supporting Malishka. Shalu says to Lakshmi that this is the best time for her to get married to Rishi because nobody will come between them now, and Shalu asks Lakshmi to accept Rishi's love. Rishi comes out wearing a shirt that Shalu brought for him, and Lakshmi, Shalu and Bani laughs at him because the shirt is bigger than him. Lakshmi tells Rishi that the shirt is big size and she asks him to change it. Rishi says he likes it, but if Lakshmi asks him to change it, then he will do so, and he goes back to change. Malishka brings food to Neelam's room and thinks that this is a golden chance for her and she will pretend to be a good daughter-in-law now. Malishka asks Neelam not to punish herself for her sake, and she requests Neelam to eat food. She says, I know that you are doing this for me so that Rishi can come home and get married to me, but please don't punish yourself for my sake, and she asks her to eat. Malishka says to Neelam that it is fine if Rishi doesn't marry me, but please you have to eat. Neelam asks Malishka not to blame herself and says she is doing this to bring Rishi back so that Rishi can go away from that unlucky girl Lakshmi, and she asks Malishka to see how Rishi will come back for her now, and Malishka agrees. Lakshmi asks Shalu if she brought the money she asked her to bring. Shalu says yes, and she gives Lakshmi the money, and Lakshmi says that she will use the money to buy the basic things they need in the house. Shalu offers to help Lakshmi with the stuff, but Lakshmi says that she will not buy everything at once so she can manage. Shalu still reminds Lakshmi that it is the right time for her to marry Rishi, and Lakshmi says that she can never be happy by separating Rishi and Neelam. Rishi comes there and asks Lakshmi to set his dress and get him dresses of his size, and Lakshmi says that she will buy the right size dresses for Rishi once she goes to the market. Shalu says to Lakshmi that she would accompany her to buy things that are needed for their house, but Lakshmi says that she will buy the things needed by herself. Lakshmi goes and Shalu and Bani follows her. Rishi thinks that Lakshmi is planning everything for their future, and he thinks of what he can do to help her. At the Oberoi house, Grandma worries thinking about the current situations. She thinks that Neelam is stubborn and she had refused to eat, and if Rishi comes back to the house with Lakshmi, then Neelam will not accept Lakshmi, and Rishi will not come back to the house without Lakshmi. Grandma thinks that Virendra went to meet Rishi, but she doesn't know if Rishi will come back or not. Lakshmi sets Rishi's button shirt with needle and thread, and she goes to return the needle and thread to their neighbor where she borrowed it from. Rishi thinks about what he needs to do to make money so that he can help Lakshmi. Virendra comes there and Rishi is shocked, but Virendra smiles looking at Rishi. Virendra hugs Rishi and he asks if this is the mansion he told him that they are living in. Rishi smiles and says yes, and Virendra says that he doesn't have any problem with the house as far as Rishi is happy. Rishi asks if Neelam is fine, and Virendra hesitates, but then he tells Rishi that his mom is on hunger strike so that he can return, and Rishi, Shalu and Bani are shocked. Kiran and Sonal are planning to go to the Oberoi house. Malishka calls Kiran and tells her that she has a good news, and she asks her to come to the Oberoi house to know the good news. Kiran asks Malishka to say the good news, but Malishka refused, so Kiran says that she is coming and she ends the call. Malishka is happy and she says that her mom will be happy to hear the good news. Kiran tells Sonal that she doesn't know the good news that Malishka is talking about, and even the good news might not be good news because Malishka sometimes doesn't have brain. Sonal asks Kiran not to say that and says that Malishka is deeply in love with Rishi and she is crazy about him, and they leave for the Oberoi's house while Malishka waits for Rishi's return and she gets happy. Virendra tells Rishi that he is not understanding what he has to do, and Bani and Shalu discuss that Neelam going on hunger strike is all Neelam's plan to separate Lakshmi and Rishi. Virendra asks Rishi to decide on what he has to do and says he will never force him to do anything. Lakshmi comes there and she hugs Virendra and she asks that how is he. Virendra says how will he be when Lakshmi was not in the house, and says he gets sad every day without them, so he came to see how they are. Lakshmi asks if everyone is fine at home, and Virendra reluctantly nods that yes. Lakshmi asks Virendra if Neelam is fine, and Virendra hides the truth and says you can never change and you care for everyone. He says Neelam throws you away from the house, but you care for her. Lakshmi says she considered Neelam as her mother, but Neelam doesn't consider her as a daughter, and she asks if Neelam is fine. Shalu thinks that Lakshmi will send Rishi back home if she hears about Neelam's hunger strike, and that way, Rishi and Lakshmi will not get married, and Shalu gets sad. Lakshmi asks Virendra about Neelam's condition again, but Virendra couldn't tell her the truth, so Virendra and Rishi looks at each other in shock. They've been living their life happily, smiling, and there's no problem. But now Neelam has brought a hunger strike between them now. Because I'm very sure that if Lakshmi should hear that Neelam is on hunger strike so that Rishi can come back home, Lakshmi will send Rishi back home immediately, because that girl is just too good. And she's not seeing that these people that she is too good, she is forming too good for, they don't deserve it. You can see Malishka, she's very smart. She's using Neelam's hunger strike as a strategy, to be a good daughter-in-law. Not that she cares for Neelam. She's just doing it so that they can see her like a good daughter-in-law that she is not. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.